High in the misty Scottish Highlands, where ancient mountains touch the clouds, lived a bright-eyed girl named Melody Macpherson. Every morning, she would sit by her bedroom window and listen to the magnificent sound of bagpipes echoing through the valley. The deep, powerful notes made her heart soar like an eagle riding the Highland winds. Melody's grandfather was the village's most celebrated piper. His music could make people laugh, cry, and dance with joy. Whenever he played at festivals, Melody watched in wonder as his fingers danced across the pipes, creating beautiful Scottish tunes that told stories of brave heroes and magical lands. One day, Melody gathered all her courage and said, "Grandfather, will you teach me to play the Highland pipes?" The old man's eyes twinkled, but others in the village shook their heads. "Girls don't play the pipes," they said. "It's not our tradition." But Melody's grandfather smiled and replied, "Traditions grow like trees, my dear. They need new branches to stay strong." Every evening, when the sun painted the hills golden, Melody and her grandfather would practice in their garden. The pipes were almost as big as she was, but Melody didn't mind. Her small fingers worked hard to learn every note, every scale, every traditional tune. Sometimes the pipes made strange squeaking sounds that made the sheep run away, but Melody just giggled and tried again. Some villagers would walk past their garden, frowning and muttering about breaking traditions. But Melody's grandfather would say, "Listen with your heart, not just your ears." And so she did. Day after day, week after week, Melody practiced until her music began to flow as smoothly as the Highland streams. As the seasons changed, so did Melody's playing. The winter snow melted, spring flowers bloomed, and her music grew stronger. She learned to play slow, sad laments that brought tears to eyes, and quick, happy jigs that made feet tap and hands clap. Her grandfather beamed with pride as her confidence grew like the wild heather on the hillsides. The annual Highland Games were approaching, where pipers from all around Scotland would compete. No girl had ever played in the piping competition before. When Melody asked to participate, the village council was shocked. "But it's never been done," they exclaimed. Melody's grandfather stood tall and said, "Then it's about time someone did it." On the day of the games, the sun shone brightly on the gathering crowd. When it was Melody's turn to play, whispers rippled through the audience. She took a deep breath, remembering her grandfather's words, "Music knows no boundaries, just like the Highland wind." Melody began to play. Her fingers moved gracefully, and the pipes sang out clear and true. She played a tune she had written herself, one that told of soaring eagles, rushing streams, and the magic of the Highlands. The melody danced on the breeze, touching every heart that listened. When the last note faded into the mountain air, there was silence. Then one person began to clap, then another, until the whole field rang with applause. Even the old council members smiled and nodded in approval. Melody had shown them that music belongs to everyone, regardless of who they are. That day changed everything in the village. Soon, other girls asked to learn the pipes too. Melody and her grandfather started teaching them all, and the sound of pipes in the valley grew richer and more beautiful than ever before. Now when people visit the Highlands and hear the pipes playing on the wind, they might just see Melody leading a whole new generation of pipers, boys and girls together, their music rising up to touch the Scottish skies. Because sometimes the bravest thing we can do is follow our hearts and show others that traditions can grow, just like the mighty Highland oaks, strong and true.